It's lesson time. Now, this is very important, y'all. You're going to see that this slide presentation is not that much. Not many. I don't have any. Usually I have visuals and I have lots of graphics and stuff. No, this one is a very hardcore, high-hitting body of information to get you through any protest, any public march, wherever it may be, whenever it may be, for whatever it may be. These tips are going to help you. Okay, so photographing protests, how to do it right. Let's go. This is powerful and important. This is a powerful and important topic for our photography community. Photographing protests requires a careful balance of storytelling, ethics, and safety. Here are some practical tips for you. Number one, prioritize safety above all. Safety above all. Wear protective gear. Wear protective gear, comfortable shoes, breathable clothing, eye protection. Like we have glasses, but sometimes we have people with goggles and helmet. Sometimes I go out with since I'm already riding my bicycle when I'm usually going, I already have my helmet on my head. You've seen me do that for some of those that saw me do Black Lives Matter in the protests in past. Because I've been in these streets. Stay aware of exit routes. Look around you. You should be always having one mindset of, how do I get out of this crowd if things go down quickly? Because if it goes down, it's going to go down quickly. Stay aware of exit routes as you're passing through streets and you're moving through streets with the crowd. Look at different streets, two-way streets, one-way streets. Which direction are they going? Keep that extra mind looking and moving and observing your exit routes. Here we go. Know multiple ways to leave if the crowd dynamics shift suddenly. Next, keep your gear secure. Use a crossbody camera strap or harness to minimize the risk of damage or snatching. Like a lot of people like to have the camera hanging. No. No camera hanging. When you are in a crowd situation, you want your camera as close as possible. So you want to put it inside nice and close to your chest, right? You don't want a long strap hanging down. You want to tighten up that strap so that way it's just enough room to pop up and pop down, pop up and pop down. If you're using your smartphone, keep it in your hands nice and tight. Keep your hand, and don't just do it like this. Don't just do like this. Get your hand around it. When you're not photographing, get your hand around your phone, right? Don't just, I'm just lollygagging, take it, and try to hold your camera with all of your hands, both hands, and take the shots. So that way, if you fall, you trip, you got your camera. You don't lose your camera. Or some crazy person that's, maybe a little bit more, that's not with the crowd, may try to snatch your camera. Because there will be, always remember, in every protest crowd, there's usually antagonists. And they are there to start trouble. But always remember that they are around. Don't be fearful of them, but be Keep your precautions levels up. Next, number 2, positioning for strong shots and safety elevated vantage points. When I'm on this, well, let's just go through it and I'll share how I do it. Look for balconies, staircases, or slight elevations that offer a safer wide angle perspective. When I'm moving through with the crowd, I'm very rarely embedded in the crowd. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Stay on the outskirts of the crowd. To the left, to the right, you are, what's the saying? Flanking the crowd. Stay near the edges instead of deep within, allowing for escape options. You position yourself also on the outskirts because you may have the abilities at some points along the way to go up a flight of steps that's going to give you elevation to take the shot. Right? Or you may have a podium, some kind of podium that's right there. Or sometimes, in my case, because I've been doing this for a while, I find a good old lamp post. And I know how to climb on it, take the shot, and then I'm down. Because the lamp post is also, and we're going to get to the next thing, is my barrier. Here we go. Stay near barriers. Walls, light poles, or cars can provide cover if the atmosphere shifts. When you see me photographing in a protest, I am always, and I mentioned this to my meetup group, I am always near a lamppost. I am always near some unmovable object. Whether it be a car, whether it be a wall, I am always in it, next to it. So that way, if something happens, a gunshot goes off, or something happens that's crazy, that shifts, and people start fleeing and running, I got the wall, I got the lamppost. Always go against the crowd. For instance, if the crowd is moving from left to right, make sure your lamppost is on your left side. So that way, if people start charging and you stick right in the line with the light lamppost, all the people are moving past you. No one is bringing down the lamppost. So you see the picture? You see the image? So tuck yourself in immovable objects, lampposts, walls, cars, trucks, wherever's out there that's stationary. Tuck yourself in there, take your picture, move to the next unmovable object. Stay near barriers. Next, number 3. Anticipate movement and crowd psychology. Scan for shifts in tension. Observe the people. Keep your eyes on the people. Who's in there? Is anyone agitating? Is anyone being, angry and kind of like like they got a chip on their shoulder? Or draw yourself near the people that are fun, laughing, enjoying the moment, because you're in a protest doesn't mean you have to be angry. Yes, you are there to take a stand for something that's dear to your heart. However, you don't want to be around the angry people, the people that are antagonists. Here we go. Watch body language. Sudden movements, dense formations, or rapid dispersals can signal upcoming action. For instance, I was at the Labor Day parade last year. I was 1 block away from a shooting. Saw the crowd burst. It burst. I tucked myself behind a tree. People start moving behind me and in front of me, but I was tucked. And I knew just as soon as I saw 1 person running, 2 people running, then I saw 5 people running, then I saw 20 people running, I knew danger, danger, danger. When you see people starting to run, danger. Make sure your alert level increases. Look at what's going on around you. Look at the direction they're running from, where they're running to. Tuck yourself behind the unmovable object. Watch body language. Observe police positioning. Identify where officers are stationed and how they're engaging with protesters. Always watch the police officers. The police officers, I learned this from a journalist class last year at Photoville, for photojournalists. Learned this last year. Observe the police positionings. Without going into major detail of all that, because there's particular ways that police officers stand when they're about to do something. They're in a delta formation. What does that mean? They're in a group setting. What does that mean? Are they grabbing their mask or going into their pockets to get their, gas mask? Are they getting ready? Are they, look at them, are they going to they're grabbing sticks and getting ready for something? Watch police officers. Or are they just simply laughing and having a good time with the crowd? Observe police positioning. Identify where officers are stationed and how they're engaging with the protesters. Also, avoid bottlenecks. Stay away from areas where crowds are heavily pressed against structures with no clear exit. Can I say that again? Avoid bottlenecks. That means wide going narrow. Wide going narrow. Let it clear out. Get ahead of the crowd. As you see, it's going to narrow. Get ahead of the crowd. Or wait until the crowd gets through, and then there's a gap within the crowd, and then you move through the bottleneck. I'm speaking from experience. I've been on these streets. I walked in protests. I photographed protests. I'm not giving you something I don't know. And I also, last year, like I said, they had a great class on this at the Photoville. Avoid the bottlenecks. Next one, number 4. Ethical storytelling. Blur faces when needed. If photographing protesters in situations where retaliation is possible, ensure anonymity with framing or editing. Sometimes you want to blur the faces. Like when you start editing your photos, blur the faces. So that way, authorities don't go after the people if something breaks out. But again, we are trying to look for the joy in the protests. So that's probably not going to be a problem. But if things go sideways and we photographers still click away. But be conscious that we protect our protesters, our fellow protesters. We want to protect them from the authorities. right? And this is not the ones that are doing something bad and criminal. I'm talking about the ones that are legitimately being attacked, like we saw on the news yesterday with the footage of those police officers taking down that dude and then trampling over him with the horse and then grabbing him by the backpack and then dragging him back down to the ground. Right? That stuff, if you're around, you may photograph it. But there may be other people throwing bottles and all that stuff because they're agitated. They're angry at what they're seeing. Try to blur their faces out. Just saying. Here's another one. Seek consent when possible. While public demonstrations are often fair game, respectful engagement builds trust. What do we mean by that? Is that, yes, you can take the picture. Yes, you can take the picture of anyone. Like it said, it's fair game. But go up to people if you see a situation that's homey and wholesome and like, oh, this is a great photo, and you want to take pictures of people and pose them, ask permission. Say, hey, I love what you're wearing. I love what you look like. I love what you're doing. Can I photograph you? You look amazing. Can I photograph you? You look great. Can I photograph you? Do I have permission to photograph you? Right? Seek consent when possible. Next one. Avoid sensationalism or sensationalizing. Focus on authenticity rather than dramatizing chaos for engagement. Tell a story. Don't just take pictures of just, the horror. Take pictures of your subject, but how it relates to what's going on. Does that make sense? Like, you can take a picture of a homeless guy on the street, right? If you take a picture of him by himself, what is your story? What's your end game? But if you take a picture of the homeless person and you are kind of telling a story, then embody the composition. Embody it in your composition to tell the story. Don't be a sensationalist. Don't try to get the drama. Avoid it if possible, but get a great photo. Get a great photo. I see some of you guys are chiming in. Let me just pause and get some of what you guys are saying. Facts. Oh, you guys are really talking. Oh, you guys are in here. All right. Here we go. I see here. Jazzy says, okay, hold on a second. Here we go. There we are. Rosemary's in the building. Rosemary is in the building. But Anthony says, stay girded. Now we're talking about stay girded. She says, be there in live first and foremost. Recognize the differences. Be there to protest with love for your fellow man and your neighbors. Rosemary saying she's loving this. Vigilance training. Love this. Anthony says, yes, that's one of the first things I check for when I'm at a protest. I tend to position myself near the cool and calm ones. Rosemary says, good one. Derek says, keep at least 6 feet of space all around you. Sometimes that's difficult, but that's why when you're on the fringes, if you're on the flanking areas of the protest, then you got more room, either to the left or to the right. But do not embed yourself into the crowd. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're ready now. We're ready. We're ready to move on. Here we go. Next one, number 5, and the last one. Protect your work and yourself. Back up images quickly. Use cloud syncing or multiple memory cards in case of confiscation or damage. No press protections. If covering as a journalist, familiarize with local press freedom laws. You can get those online on Google. Don't engage directly in conflict. Stay neutral as an observer rather than becoming involved in protest actions. Like you see a police officer abusing a person. Do not antagonize the police officer. You are the photographer. You are there to observe. You are there to photograph. The best thing you can do is photograph what's going on. Don't yell at the police officer. Don't yell at the person that's antagonizing. Don't try to fight people. You are a photojournalist. You're playing the role of a photojournalist. And go out and be the fly on the wall. Be the fly on the wall. Here's another one. Rosemary says, don't allow the crowd to push you towards the chaos. Exactly. Again, back up your information clearly. Do all that good stuff. Now, here's a little extra tip that I learned from the photojournalist class. If you are at protests and you think the protest could go awry, my contractor is, I hope you guys are not hearing my contractor working, but if you go to a protest, one trick of the trade for photojournalists and photographers is to take a Sharpie. I don't have Sharpies on the other side of here. Take a Sharpie. Y'all gonna be like shocked with this. I'm saying this. Take a Sharpie and write your lawyer's name on your forearm in case you are rounded up. You are rounded up by mistake. Because if it goes awry and you are in a protest, whenever you're in these massive crowds, take your forearm, right, and write your information on your forearm over here and over there, your lawyer number, and maybe that number you need to call to let people know you are all right. Because most of the times when they round you up, they take away these guys from you. And most of us have all of our information in here. So we lose our phones. We don't have our lawyers' telephone numbers. We don't have grandma's number. We don't have mama's number. We don't have Uncle Joe's. We don't have the numbers that are necessary to get us help. Hey, I've been rounded up with a bunch of folks here. I am at the police station. And I just called you to let you know where I am. I learned that from the photojournalist class last year, and it was worth my while to learn that. I live with that information now. That is that's a Bible verse. Right? Number 2. Oh, Rosemary says something right in here. Rosemary says something here. Talk to God only. Ask for constant guidance. Keep your positive energy for good up. When you feel that diminishing, remove yourself. when you see that things are changing and the atmosphere is changing, get out, move, run, leave. I hope these tips help you this weekend and forever. Whenever there's protests, there are going to be a lot of them. And we are going to be out in these streets. And you're going to need these tips. I say send this video to all your friends that are going to be out in the streets. Right? But definitely, though, I say you cannot go wrong. And you may say, oh, but I'm just going out with the family. We're just going to have a good time. We're going to support. Anytime there are masses of people, you must think that the worst can happen. And can I throw in one more? Can I throw in one more tip that I am now putting into, I just put into action yesterday? Especially if you are going to a protest and you are going to be in those streets, get rid of your biological opening of your phone. Don't use your fingerprint. Learn this in photojournalism class. Do not use your finger. Do not use face recognition. Because when the police round you up, if they just happen to round you up, they may want to go into your phone. And the only way you can stop them from going into your phone is by not having the bio entries, fingerprints, face recognition. They can only go into your phone if they ask for permission for the PIN code. And they can't force you because they need a warrant. So we all need to get back to the PIN versus these one. I love my face recognition. It helps me so much in so many things. It's like I was like, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to give it up. But we are living in a different age, y'all. If someone pulls you, if a renegade or rogue police officer pulls you over, or ICE or any of these people pull you over, the first thing they're going to do is take your phone. They're going to click on it and put it to your face, and then they can get into your phone. So that's your bonus tip. That's your bonus tip. Learn that in their wonderful photojournalism class last year at Photoville. That class was worth everything. So guys, be vigilant, know your surroundings, but also have a good time. This protest, No King's March and protest, is about also just being together with people and camaraderie. Get out into the streets, show your solidarity with everyone, Black, white, Spanish, Asian, everyone, we're all together, supporting one another, working together to say we are not going to settle for a dictatorship or a kingship. We are going to keep our democracy. And let the church say amen. Let the photographers in the building say amen. Let the photographers say amen. Let the photographer say, yes, so be it. Did you learn anything today? I see in here. I didn't even have to say it. Some of you already said it. Kaz says, good tips. Jazzy says, great tips, Ron. Rosemary says, we should never turn against our neighbors this hardcore. All dictators do this. It's not right. Rosemary says, we love our melting pot of good people. Yes. Yes. He says that part, Ron. Okay. Let me just share my little banners with you. You know I had to do that at the end. Here we go. Here we go. You know we know how we roll. If you want to stay in contact with me, make sure you join my email list today. Go to DronLewisPhotos.com and then sign up for the email newsletter. Make sure you do that. And also, if you are looking for an event photographer, I am an event photographer. That includes journalism, photojournalism. That is an event. Those are events. Event photography, photographing events. I do photographs. I do events for corporate, personal, commercial. I do it all. If it's an event, I photograph it. Also, thank you for the Patreon members in our community who support what we do here. Your support helps us create amazing content. If you are not a Patreon member, just go to patreon.com and put in Ron Lewis Photos and become a Patreon member and support what we do here. If you get information, if these tips that we do every Tuesday matter to you, if there's some part of our week that we share matters to you, then support what we do here because we are a community. Okay? So again, thank you to our Patreon members. I love you. I support you. And also, Photograph Your World. Visual Basic Photography 101. I do tutoring, y'all. Fun tutoring using your camera model, creative instructions, and learning at your pace. Also in New York City, available in person tutoring in this area. Unless you want to fly me to wherever you are, I can do tutoring there too. But home, work, and play. Photograph Your World. If you need a tutor, reach out to me. Let's schedule you on the calendar. Okay, I think we got it all. Did you guys? Well, I know you guys learned something. You obviously learned something today, and I know you're going to walk away today much smarter than you arrived. Yes, right. That's right. I see Rosemary says hugs to everyone. Much thanks. Thanks, Ron, she says. Janet says. Fifi has the applause. And Brian says, amen. And Janet says, great info. And Derek says, I just turned off my facial unlock on my phone. Amen. Oh, right. Cass says, and she sends her applause. Okay. That's what we're doing here. That's what it's about. Keeping each other safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Wisdom Wednesday. Will we have a guest? I don't know. If not, we'll do our water cooler Wednesday. Either way, we'll be here. See you tomorrow. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.